Well. Welcome to the show, everyone. This is the match reaction. This is your chance to have your say just as the game is petering out. Less than 5 minutes to go, full time. And yeah, well, if we were going to accept the Europa League, if we were going to enjoy it or get through it, then we need games like this. It has been a decent game. I'm not going to lie. It's been pretty decent. It's been end to end. It started off that way. Literally 2 minutes in, it should have been 2-1 probably to Real Sociedad, and then United just took complete control, and one man in particular took complete control of this game. That was our Magnifico, our maestro, Bruno Fernandes. I would say the one world-class player that we have got at this team. The guy was unbelievable today. I have pinned up the link to the video there, guys. Do respect it. Don't come on and be stupid. If you do want to come on and have your say, just click on that link. I will see who's in the waiting room and we'll let on who I think deserves to be let on. So if you do want to have a say, come on, let me know. But the game is just petering out now. United in complete control. Diallo's on, Mata's on. You know, when them two are on, the game is won. The tie is won. I said it, I tweeted it out. We are in for one hell of a long spring. Games thick and fast. Looks like Thursday, Sundays are here to stay. This is the last 32. We're already into the last 16 now. There's no way United are losing this tie. There's no way. And I haven't seen enough from Sociedad to even be worried about the second leg. So for me, I think this is done and dusted. The job has been done. It's been done comfortably. United have gone out attacked. And it's worked. We have comfortably battered Sociedad, in my opinion. I think it was easy. They've not done anything in the second half. Henderson's not really had anything to do. Bruno should have had a hat-trick of assists if Rashford had his shooting boots on, if James had his on. James had a goal disallowed. Man, it should have been, realistically, about 8-2 to United. And that was just giving them two chances to Sociedad early doors in this game. So, for me, I think this has been probably the only way that we can enjoy the Europa League. If United go out and play like this in every game, then it's a bit more palatable, isn't it? We can stomach it. But ultimately, it all depends now. It's all right tonight. It's great to see tonight. We'll get verdicts on tonight. Hopefully, with some people, we do get some guests on. But it's all about the Sunday game against Newcastle. Have we worn ourselves out? Well, we don't know. We're not going to find out until Sunday. But right now, all we can say is that this game has just been a walk in the park, especially second half. Standout performances. I mean, if Rashford is coached right, the guy is ridiculous, isn't it? The chances he had in the first half, we should have been 4 up. Bruno again pulling strings. I think we've won the midfield battle. It's been a decent game, like I said. It's been end to end. No one's really had control until United scored that second goal in the second half. I think United took control then, but from the first minute, it was end to end. No one was really in control of the game. So I'm looking at it going, all right, I'll take this Europa League game, put it to bed. We can possibly rest players now. Definitely no excuse to play anyone next week at Old Trafford. We are already through in this one. And I think now, looking at it, job done. Let's just concentrate on the league now for a couple of weeks until we get the last 16 draw. As Dan James just burns through. And scores. Dan James has just scored a beauty. Credit to Dan James. He's been all right tonight. These are his levels. It is 4-0 to Manchester United. Even when I don't even do a watch-along, I get a goal to celebrate. And you know what? I think he probably deserved that. He was unlucky for his goal that he got disallowed. But all in all, I think his overall game today has been decent. One of his better performances. And I would say definitely deserves his goal. To be honest, he's run there pretty much from the halfway line, going right through. He could have squared it. Yeah, it's a good finish. Right into the far corner. Loving it. 4 goals to celebrate in Europa League. Absolutely brilliant. Let's just get in to see who's in the room with us. Smoking Corbin, how you doing, mate? Mike's in, Mick's in. Hello to everyone. Yes, United are winning. We are going through. Fergie dance? No Fergie dance in Europa League. I was set here, just all set for a normal conversation, and they still throw a goal at me. It is absolutely crazy what is going on right now. But I think I just tweeted out earlier on. What did I put there? But Bruno's different levels. But to be honest, there's loads of good ratings that this team could get today. 5 minutes of injury time now. Let's hope we can get through it and get a clean sheet at least, which will be confidence boosting. Another clean sheet. Well, everybody's playing at the back, you could say. Definitely interesting, but it's a clean sheet no matter what you say or what you want to say. It is what it is. And United at the moment, I think we needed a bit of a confidence booster, more goals to the tally for the season, but overall player ratings today I think are going to be sky high. Sociedad have just not competed with us one bit, and I think this was probably the little tune-up game before the Newcastle one that we actually needed, but good performances all around. But midfield was solid enough, like I said. Bruno Fernandes, I think he's the ultimate man of the match here today, 100% man of the match. But you guys may disagree. Was it someone else? I don't think so. I really don't think you can pick anybody else. But looking at it, I'm going, at the start, strongish team. I knew he was going to play a strong team tonight. He just doesn't rest players. We're not going to score again, surely. Diallo's chance? No, he's wasted that one. A bit too greedy. But, yeah, strong team. To be honest, this team probably won't go missing a Premier League match. It wasn't a million miles away, but for what? Dan James, Eric Bailly, the way Ollie picks, Tellez at left back. I'd take Henderson over De Gea in goal all day long anyway. You know how I feel about that. And I just feel like this really probably was stronger than what I thought we were going to pick. I knew we'd probably see the likes of Rashford and Maguire, but I think Ollie's looking at it. If he is looking at it, and we'll find this out if he rests players or not, then I think he's looked at it and gone, let's just win the game and put the tie to bed. You can't really argue. He's done that pretty much. He has done that. And hopefully now he will rest the players, like I said last week. Bruno does not need to play next week. Rashford doesn't need to play next week. Definitely not Maguire. Are we going to keep the clean sheet? Last minute, here we go. But I think this is the perfect opportunity to give them a rest in the week now. We can play a different 11 in that game next week and we'll still beat this Sociedad team. They are, for a team that's lost one in the last 6 games in La Liga, they do not look much. And I think this just shows how poor La Liga is at the moment in terms of its levels and standards. Because if this is a team that spent time at the top of La Liga for large spells this season, then yeah, that league and the levels in that league are pretty poor now. They have dropped. I said the other night, Barcelona's time has come. And I think Spanish leagues, I think La Liga's time has come. It is definitely not the force it used to be. United have pretty much shown it up. And what was it? The last time we beat a Spanish team? Was it Celta Vigo? 2017. We've now put the Spanish voodoo to bed. And we are moving on. It is good to see, but I really didn't expect Sociedad to be this poor. I just did not expect them to be this poor. What we're saying, people, Mike Lille, Ricky would say Dan James man of the match 100%. Well, we all know Bruno's been man of the match. That's what he's been. He will probably find a way of making him man of the match because he's one of his players. Bailly makes all the difference, but Ollie will pick Lindelof again at the weekend. I think Bailly had a bit of a poor start. Nearly another one. God, I tell you what, United have not stopped attacking. It's been good to see, I'll be honest. That's one good thing. But yeah, I think Bailly will end up being benched again for weekend. He had a sloppy start tonight, didn't he? It wasn't the best of starts for Eric Bailly. He did look a bit shaky and grew into the game. It is what it is. When you played and you're not played a lot and you've been out for a while, then it does take a little bit of time to adapt and a bit of time to get into the rhythm of the game. But he did it. He got more comfortable as the game went on, and we looked comfortable in the end in defending as well. Bruno is world-class, Jay, 100% world-class. He is one player that this football team cannot live without. Guys, if you think about it tonight, He put that one on a plate for Dan James in the second half. He put one on a plate for McTominay, one for Rashford in the first half. Man, Bruno should have had a hat-trick of assists tonight, as well as his 2 goals, which, by the way, takes him to 21 for the season. I don't think we've ever had a midfielder that has bagged 21 goals in a season. Have we? Really? I think since the days of Paul Scholes, and he's going to eclipse that. What was our best scoring player? I think Martial last season with 23 has been our best total for any player. Bruno's on 21 now. 21 now with so many games to go this season. It's ridiculous how good this guy is. Absolutely ridiculous how good he is. And you know what? We're lucky to have him, and we need to do everything we possibly can to keep hold of this player. He is one man that is keeping this club going. Even when we're playing bad, he will do something and bring us out of it. But let's get into it. Guys, if you do want to come on, I have pinned the link to the video. If you want to come on and have your say on whatever's happened tonight, it is there. I'll put it out there again in the comment section now, just so you guys can see it. If you do want to come on, click on that link. Come join me. Have your say if you want, and pick out your players of the match. Is there anyone else who can compete with Bruno Fernandes? Bruno is different gravy, Madrid Neil, 100%. Different level altogether. And is massive for this football team. It really is. I mean, that could give us a bit of a boost in the league, that result. That's what I'm trying to take positives. There's nothing positive in being in the Europa League for me still, but looking at the games, you have to take what comes. And tonight, Sociedad weren't great, and we put them away. We put them to the sword and deserved everything that we got tonight. And so did all the players. Like I said, big shout out to Dan James. Who else have we got in here? Get the comments in now. Bring in 2 players around Bruno. And what? Centre back, and you're laughing, aren't you? I'm just going to get I was going to get my first guest on there. One of my biggest contributors, Mark, was in the comment section. Then if you do get a chance, Mark, jump back on, mate. I didn't have a watch along tonight, Andrew. Don't worry, mate. I was just doing the calling show after the game tonight. Zane, I love you, mate. I really do. Have a hat-trick tonight. We'll see. You kicking off at 8 o'clock, I think, Zane. So keep us posted in the comments, mate, as we do our little roundup, mate. Cheers for that. Nice one, Zane. Good to have you back in. Got to get his headphones. Okay. How about who, says Giorgio? Jack Porter coming in. Bayern Henderson should play in the next match. They should, but they won't. We know they won't. But, you know, you never know. Possibly we may get a surprise. Dan James isn't man of the match, mate, but he did have a very, very good game, I will say that. Bruno Fernandes is by far man of the match today. Let me see. Can't moan about Dan James, 15 million, great squad player. Well, the problem with Dan James was he was thrown in when he really shouldn't have been, and too much was expected of him because he had a good start to his United career. That's the problem. And you're right. He was brought in, I thought, for the future, but he got just catapulted straight into the team. That was the problem. Good you won, as we want you in the final. Oh, Zane fancies the Europa League face-off. I don't know, mate. I don't know if you've got enough. Some people say Rashford was man of the match. No, if he'd have took his chances, I'd have probably said, yeah, he would be up there. He was excellent. His movement was fantastic tonight. His decision-making at some stages, again in the final third, let him down. His finishing wasn't on point, but I'm so happy that he did get that goal and put it away in the second half. That is massive for his confidence. Absolutely massive. Fred was class. Better, I would say. Brilliant assist. Brilliant ball for him to Rashford, definitely. 100%. 100% it was. But guys, if you do want to have your say, jump on. The link is there, pinned at the top of the comment section. And let me know what you thought. A few people saying that James was good enough for man of the match. A lot of saying Bruno. Obviously, Bruno for me was my man of the match. The fact that he should have had 3 assists if everyone else had their shooting boots on says everything you need to know. Definitely. Fred's pass was probably the highlight. Anyone see that little ball that Bruno played into McTominay in the first half as well? Some real good interchange from a lot of players today as well. I thought McTominay carried the ball all right as well, especially in that first half, out of some tricky little situations. Look tough on paper, class performance. They are no mugs. Well played, Reds. I thought they were no mugs, mate, but tonight they were looking like it, weren't they? Was it a case that they were off and we just took advantage? Or was it a case of, like you said, we were just good tonight against a decent team? I think they've had 1 defeat in 6 building up to this. Silky at moments, definitely, Robert, mate. Fred with the Baggio pass, says Big Ron. Yeah, Fred with the Baggio pass, I'll say. It just seemed like we had loads of space tonight and it was easier. That's what it looked like. It just looked like there was no real pressure on us. There was no mad closing down, high press, anything like that. It was just a case of United were too good for Sociedad, and in the end, our forward line was just lethal, especially with Bruno, man. The cleverness of that man, it was ridiculous tonight. Zane's in with another super. Relying on Bruno again. We have Xhaka and Martinelli, Odegaard, Pepe, Abba, Smith Rowe to rely on. I don't know, mate. Rashford and James both scored as well. Odegaard, I've not seen anything of him. Martinelli's disappeared this season, mate. Pepe, what? No, I don't think so. I'd say Xhaka and Aubameyang probably the only ones for me, mate, in your team that are really standing out. Others have got time to shine, but right now, no, not too sure. We're too good for the Europa. I don't know, mate. There's some good teams in this. Some good teams in the competition. It's not going to be an easy competition to win. What else we saying? A few replies to Zane coming in as well. Arsenal relying on them to get into the top half of the table. That's a good one. Nice comeback, Rob. Definitely. Yeah, Adam, don't think you have a link for the live. I do, mate. It's in the comments right at the top, pinned. And just for good measure, I will just put it in again for you there. CJ, if you want to come on, have a chat. There it is. It's right there in the comment section there, guys. You should be able to click on that. Should be able to click on. Salome, I can see your comment there, pal. I can see you waiting, but I can't get you in. Let's see if we can get Mark in.
Hello.
How are you doing, mate? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You?
1 second. There's me starting a leading. Starting the show off and I can't even hear anyone. Hang on a minute, mate. I'm just going to put some earphones in myself. Let's do it. Mark, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
How you doing, mate? You okay? First of all, mate, good to have you on, pal. Nice to see you. Nice to see you actually on the screen and not in the comments. Not saying it's not bad being in the comments, but
you can't see my lockdown haircut in the comments, though, can you?
That's it, mate. Just a shout out to Prodigy. Can't lie. Just prefer the way Dino commands his box and distributes the ball quicker. Eventually, he will claim that number 1 spot. A few, I think, agree with you there. Me especially, mate. Prem. But overall tonight, Mark, mate, I mean, decent performance. You can only beat what's in front of you. None of us are looking forward to Europa League, but it was an all right game, I thought, mate.
No, fucking fantastic. That, and I think, let's not take anything away from ourselves. Like, I think, they played their game and we played our game, and they played right into our hands. They're a good side. They're a good side. Their league shows that they're a good side. They were top of the league for up until just lately, like ourselves. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty much. They're probably like the equivalent of us, aren't they, in their league at the moment? At the top when they shouldn't be, and then just falling away. But I think tonight,
didn't they, towards the end, they were just kept playing the high line and just devastating.
Yeah. Mate, you come in there, you come and try and play ball against us, mate. It's one outcome in it, mate. We're just going to put you to bed completely. I'm just going to bring CJ in with us as well. CJ, Welcome to the chat, mate. Are you okay, pal?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Got my glass of wine. So
Yeah.
That's
it. Oh, I feel bad now. I've only got a Diet Coke in my hand. I'm the one left out here.
Get some beers, bro.
Nice one. I mean, CJ, mate, we can only watch what game we're playing, and tonight was entertaining, mate, really.
yeah, the goals were good for sure. The goals were good, but like I always say, football is a business. Don't get me wrong; it's about getting the job done. But I'm just so fed up of being not entertained. Like I'm not entertained by these performances, to be honest with you. But but at the end of the day,
tonight's game was better than what we have been watching, though, mate. You got to admit.
yeah, it's better than the West Brom game, that's for sure.
Oh,
West
mate,
Brom,
I don't think that takes much to beat that, does it?
yeah, the West Brom game was pretty bad, but today it wasn't a bad game. It wasn't bad. I think it was a bit slow. I was kind of shocked with Real Sociedad because I thought they were a better team. You know, 5th in the league in La Liga. I thought they would come out with a bit more intensity, but I couldn't even remember like David Silva touching that ball.
No, mate, they had no influence at all. I mean, Mark, for you, the standout performance today. I mean, I've obviously given it to Bruno. I think everyone knew I was going to give it him. I thought it was different levels there today. But big shout out to Dan James. I give him plenty of stick, but I think he did his job well. Should have had 2 goals. Unlucky for his first one to be disallowed, but got his goal in the end as well.
He just won the cups, Dan James. He's a cup player.
Yeah. I mean, what's that he's got this year? I think he's got 3 or 4 goals this season just from the odd little appearance. I think that's what he got in all of last season. That's when we were all saying that he was this wonder kid that first set on the scene. It's crazy what happens, and it's crazy what some stats can make a player look like. I mean, he is a bit part player, but he's come in this season, done his job where he's been asked to do his job, and tonight again, pretty much can't really ask for much more, Mark, on that.
We couldn't give Diallo a half hour. No, he got a cameo, but it just weren't enough. You know, I think he could have influenced the game more, given a bit longer, maybe. Really debut for the team. It was a bit of a disservice to Diallo himself, giving him such little time.
Yeah, definitely. I just think Dan James tonight took his chance, and you know what? A few players have said to Wally, maybe give us a pick. I mean, CJ, would you be changing any of that team that we're expecting to see against Newcastle? Would you keep Bailly in? Would you keep Henderson in against Newcastle now after watching that? Yeah, the shaky start by, but again, Henderson's commanding Inter, mate. He just seems more sturdy on his feet to me.
Yeah, you know what? I think this should be the time whereby Ole needs to start phasing out De Gea. Not saying that you should completely bench him, but maybe Newcastle, for example, play him against Newcastle to just get a run of games in. I think he's showing the quality and the confidence that he has. Would you say that he's De Gea level yet? Probably not. But at the same time, giving him a bit more games will definitely build that confidence and something to build on. Because I don't think we should be going into next season with David De Gea as our only number 1. I think we should be looking to sell him off this summer, or at least by next season be looking to really replace him. Bailly, I've always said it, if he's fit, he's basically like a new signing. You know, it's clean sheets all day, every day with him. Other that, the clearance on the line, the first half, whereby, it's like you look at those kind of plays, and it's like, would Lindelof ever do that? Would Maguire ever do that? And the answer is no. So I think Bailly should be starting, but we know Ole, he's probably gonna find some excuse to slide Lindelof back into that starting lineup. So
that's with the Maguire or season as well tonight. Let's not lie, and it's because he's playing next to Bailly. I think it just gives him the extra confidence.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's like they just don't go, do they? Lindelof and Maguire.
It's 2 of the same player, aren't they? Exactly that. Let's just bring Sean in as well. Sean, are you there, mate?
Yeah, Keane.
Kean, sorry, mate, I read that. Sorry, Kean, mate, I read that wrong there. I mean, with guys just talking there, mate, regarding our defence there, good to see Bailly back. And it's no surprise, Kean, mate, another clean sheet while Eric Bailly's playing for the club. It seems to be more of a solid look when we've got the likes of Bailly and Henderson in the team. Do you agree? Or would you drop back again and put Lindelof in for the weekend, mate, after that?
I said it for quite a long time, actually. Anybody that would know me, that I just think, and I know people mightn't agree with this, but I think Lindelof is more of a problem than Maguire.
No, mate. You're not the only one who thinks that, mate.
But the reason I'm saying is, I don't know, sometimes I kind of feel the reason Maguire sometimes has a bad game is he's having to do his own job, but he's also having to do Lindelof's job as well, if you think about it that way.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen of Maguire, guys, before he came to United, I thought he was a decent player. I watched him at Hull. I watched him at Leicester. I thought he was decent. Yeah, we got our asses slapped with the price, and I think that's half the problem with a lot of the fans. But he's going to get tougher games. But again, saying that, when he does have that insurance of Eric Bailly and the legs of Eric Bailly beside him, he just looks a bit more controlled in his own game. And that does have a massive difference. I mean, CJ, it's like Kean said there, he doesn't seem to have to think as much when Eric Bailly's next to him, mate.
Yeah. And I think, you have a great point. But I also think Lindelof, too, is also, good in his own rights. I think it's just, I think Lindelof, if he was playing in a different league, maybe La Liga or something, he would be a much better player than what. Yeah, he's made to seem. So I think, honestly, and I think he's a better, ball player from the back than Maguire. Like, if you noticed a few of his passes from the back, I think he's better in terms of bringing the ball out than Maguire. It's just when you have both of them together, and we look at Maguire as the 80 million pound player. So automatically we think he's way better than Lindelof. But I think they're probably around the same level without the English tax, right? They'll probably be around the same level in terms of skill. So I don't know. I feel like you said, I think we need somebody like Bailly, but we know we can't rely on him because of his injury record. So I'm just so disappointed that we couldn't have gotten that deal done with what's his name, Upamecano from Leipzig. So
he's been pulled out,
Sorry,
that deal's already done and dusted, isn't it?
Yeah.
Actually, lads, I think he was actually on trial with us before.
May dodged the bullet there.
I mean, I think when Rashford tore him a new one in that first game, I think a few United fans went, "Oh, hang on a minute, is this kid all that?" I mean, I'm fully in the camp, guys, about the defense in terms of bringing in a experienced defender that these players can play off. I just don't think we've got the money. We've already blown 150 million's already spent on this defense, and some would say it's even worse. Yeah, exactly. But guys, I want to move into midfield tonight. A lot of praise for Fred. Fred's ball through to Rashford, big highlight for a lot of people. So, I mean, Mark, Fred tonight, I think, had a decent game. You can say the quality of opposition wasn't great in the end, but it's good to see him actually have a decent game again from where he was a few months prior to this dip in form that I think he's had recently.
He was ropey at the start, wasn't he? He was hitting some balls with like hitting them well too hard. Like, he was literally like taking shots at his own players as a pass. But
yeah, thank you passes, I call them. He really came into his own and really started making like some decent moves. And it's encouraging to see. Yeah, I mean, CJ, mate, I just wanted to get your opinion on Scott McTominay, actually. I thought he carried the ball decent again tonight from midfield, Scott McTominay. In the first half, especially. In the end, he got subbed off. I think that pretty much says that McTominay started against Newcastle. The fact that Matic came on first substitution says it all. But solid again. Could have scored. Beautiful little ball in from Bruno in the first half. Hit the target. Keeper had a good game for them. But another positive game for Scott McTominay as well, mate.
You know what? I was surprised that he started because I know Ole had talked about him, not being match fit during his press conference. But these are the kind of games I think McTominay is good at, whereby, they gave us a lot of space today. And, I still think McTominay is a CM, a center mid. He's not a CDM. And I think giving him that freedom to be able to push forward, run into the box, that's when he's at his best. So, he definitely had a good game today. For me, I know a lot of people think that I'm not a big McTominay fan. I just don't feel like he's the main guy when we're playing like the top 6 in the league. But when we're playing teams like Real Sociedad, I think, he's the kind of guy you can bring on as a squad player to get the job done. So, I think he did a good job today.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Kian, mate, is the McFred partnership one that you, like a lot of United fans, sort of, I know we've all got our opinions on it. We think it's limited, but out of Fred and McTominay, if United did go out and buy that proper holding midfielder, is the one that you would prefer over the other in that team? Or is this good enough for you?
I think at times, obviously, it works. Now, I know some fans mightn't like it, and it works, but I suppose I know people say about Declan Rice, and I'm not going to get too much into that because there's times with Declan Rice, I'll say, oh yeah, he's way better than McTominay or he's way better than Fred. But there's other times I would say no, and I don't know, is that a whole Irish thing with him turning us down before? But which how would I say? I was a bit like that with Grealish for the first year or two after, and the last 3 years or 2.5 years, Grealish has been something else. But anyway, back to Fred McTominay. If I was to choose one, I suppose McTominay, because Fred, yes, how would I say? Fred is the type of player. He'll tackle, he'll win the ball. Okay, his pass is not 100%.
Yeah, I hear that.
Fred, what I would say with Fred is fine. Just do not leave him shoot.
Yeah, Fred's one of them, innit? He's end product. It was good today with the ball that he played, but I know what you mean. McTominay brings us a little bit more, I think. He gives us that goal as well. I think he's 7 for the season already now. So I do think that he is... I just think he is an 8, like CJ, like you said. I think he's more of an 8. I think he played that more often in the youth setup. I don't think he's that holding player. Fred does that more. But then again, I prefer to have McTominay's difference up front as well, because I know McTominay can score a goal. Inside the box, outside the box with his head. He's done it all this season. I mean, Mark, who would you pick out of the two, mate? If you had to go with one, if we did buy that CDM, say for instance, mate, United went out, and it's not going to happen, but we're just going to make things up as we go along tonight. Say for instance, we went out and got an Ndidi type player, a proper holding midfielder. Which one of Fred and McTominay would you take next to Ndidi?
Let the door bang your ass on the way out, mate. It's simple. The ball always seems to come to him on the 18-yard box. Do you know when it like sort of ricochets off like a free kick or a corner, and then it would come to Fred, and then it's in Rose. Like it landed on my back garden last week. The ball. It
was like that. It was like that shot that everybody hit, wasn't it, tonight?
Shit, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, that was one, wasn't it? I think what it was. I think with Fred, when he's in his own half, he does an absolutely brilliant job. But Fred, when he gets into the final third, just isn't that. He isn't that what we need. I think McTominay offers us more.
He makes a good tackle, but then he just wastes it anyway by
his passing. His passing is a problem.
Yeah,
his passing is a problem. But then again, it all depends on what happens with Pogba in the summer as well, because Pogba probably want one of them roles as well. So good to see us actually win a game tonight without Pogba. I'm just happy seeing there. I'm watching everybody walking off the pitch laughing. That's a good sign. Do like to see that. I would like to see him again at weekend, but I'm moving into the forward line now. I mean, we don't even need to really touch on Bruno. The guy's just world class. It's as simple as.
What was Bruno's position today?
It was basically win the game for United. That was his position. Yeah.
Back of the net. Back of the net.
Win the game for United. Yeah, it was. That's where he was playing, wasn't it? He was there. He was there. He was bleeding everywhere tonight. And like you said, he was further forward than any of our forwards at some points in that game as well. So, yeah, go on, Matt. Yeah, go on. Sorry, whoever said that. Then, yeah, I mean, but I want to just get into Rashford. I mean, Kean, mate, Rashford tonight should have had an hat-trick, really, mate. Missed some gilt-edged chances. He had a brilliant ball into Bruno. He scored his goal in the second half. He's just one of them players at the moment where United fans are like, oh, he's so annoying. He's so crap. He's this, he's that. And then you come out of the game, mate. He's got an assist. He's got a goal. And then he sort of argues against his own sort of inabilities in a weird way, because the one thing that he hasn't got at the moment is consistent. And I'll go, hang on a minute, he scored 17 goals this season. He's got like 12 assists. I'm trying to argue a point. I'm trying to say, what is wrong with this guy? And then you look at the stats on paper, he completely spins it around, mate. He's such a weird player. But I feel like with the right coaching, I think Rashford could be unplayable. I really do. Because there's times in that game when he could have passed it. There was an easy ball he could have passed out to, I think it was Fred, Fred on the edge of the box, probably why he didn't pass it. And he tried to take another man on. But, I mean, Rashford for you, Kean, mate, he's hard to describe, isn't he? Because he's so good and so bad in the same game.
Yeah, I think he... I would say it's a bit like Sterling a couple of years ago, where, remember, everybody would say was it Sterling a couple of years ago, he'd scored 20-odd goals a season. And everybody would say, Jesus, he'd scored 30-odd goals in a season if he could finish. Like, yeah. Rashford, no, I'm not saying Rashford's going to score 30 this season. He might do. You never know. Okay? Saying all competitions. But we could still all turn around and say, he'd score way more if he could finish. I think that's a lot of his problem. Now, he can finish at times, yes. But I suppose it's a bit like even Greenwood now. I know a lot of people were on Greenwood's back before. But Greenwood at the moment, I know he's not scoring this season the way he has been. But since Christmas, he has played well.
Yeah, Greenwood has been probably our most consistent without scoring goals, our steadiest forward player. I think Greenwood's been unfortunate to be dropped when he has and subbed off when he has. But Rashford, for you, CJ, mate, I mean, he's nowhere near the finished product, but he's just one of them, mate, isn't he? You can argue against him all you want, but when the games come around, he always seems to have a contribution in the game, mate, and that is vital, especially when you've got an unsettled team form-wise like ours.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know what, first of all, I don't think you can put Rashford in like Mbappe, Haaland level. I think that's very unfair when fans start saying, oh, look at what Haaland's doing, look what Mbappe's doing. Like I said it, those two are going to be the next Messi and Ronaldo. We're going to be having those debates of who is better. In terms of Rashford, I've been saying that he can be very frustrating. My thing with him is, he always, it's look up and pass. And that's been my frustration is he just doesn't pass. Yeah. He'll rather go through 6 players than just, make the simple pass and maybe get the ball back and score. Those little decision makings with Rashford. But sorry?
He doesn't look up. Okay. You watch him, he doesn't look up.
But what you can say, exactly, yeah, he just kind of plays with his head down and he's just always looking to make things happen. But sometimes is you need to involve your team. But I think the problem with Rashford in terms of when we talk about the stats and his performances, you can say that about every player on that team and just the team in general is when you look at our performances, it's pretty poor, but we're still second in the league. We're still scoring goals. We're still doing things. So it makes it so frustrating as a situation because it's like our performances are not lining up with the results that we're getting. And that's where it is. So I think it's just going down through the whole team. I just feel like we need to have. I just feel like the system is just not there for these players to be able to show their true potential. And I think Rashford has gone through so many managers. So between Van Gaal, he's gone through Mourinho, which was kind of dead in the water, and then now Ole. And I think Ole has gotten the best out of him, but he still needs something who can take him to that next elite level.
Yes, yeah. I mean, Mark, I've always backed Rashford. People always, for some reason, compare him and Martial. One thing with Martial and Rashford, just my opinion on this, I just think that Rashford is more coachable than Martial is. I think Martial's already got the talent. It's just his work ethic that doesn't come through and doesn't utilise it. I think Rashford's got more, and I think he would be more coachable. But it does come down to that decision making, like CJ said, like Kean said. Matt, you said it yourself then, mate. He doesn't look up, but his contributions to this team this season have been absolutely immense in certain games that he's won us, and been frightening.
It's always a big game.
It is, mate. He's a big game player. He'll turn up in the big games, won't he?
Yeah.
I think he's more mank than Marshall. I think how it comes down. It means more to him.
I mean, it's like that. It's like against West Brom, isn't it?
Marshall, you know, he wanted to move, you know, a few years back anyway. Like, it ain't going well for him. Like, if it don't go well for him next season, I guarantee Martial will be pushing for a move. Whereas Rashford could have 2 bad seasons, and there'd be no chance of him pushing for a move.
Yeah, I could just see a little bit more effort in Rashford. That's what I can see. I can just see him trying a little bit more when things are wrong. Yeah, he may make a bad decision, but he's at least trying to make something happen, and that's just the thing. Hopefully, he's getting on. Jesus, I dare say that at his age, 23, but he's getting to that stage now where you'd expect Rashford now to be learning these things, making better decisions going forward, and I think that's what will take him to that next level. Because, like CJ said, I see strikers as like Harry Kane, Mbappe, probably Haaland at the moment, Lewandowski. They're the level. You've got Messi and Ronaldo above them. I just don't think you're going to get anywhere near Messi and Ronaldo ever again. Ever. I know what CJ said with Haaland and Mbappe. I don't think they're in the same league, to be honest. Time may tell. I think with Haaland being an out-and-out number 9 kind of changes that a little bit on that side of it. I don't think you'll ever see the amazing goals from the halfway line. Or I think he's more of a box striker. But I think that we have got, and we always talk about potential FC. I just feel like a little tweak and a change in that coaching setup, not necessarily Ollie being outed and gone, because I don't think there's any managers come in right now who's going to do anything better. That's just the way I see it right now. I don't think there's anything out there right now that can do any more than what we're already getting out of this team. But if you had the right coaching, like Ferguson did with McLaren, with Queiroz, you know what I mean, Midfield, and always changing it and adapting it, then I think we may get more out of this, because it does look sometimes like these players just need a little bit more coaching. I don't know what you guys think of that. I mean, Kia, mate, for you, it's just little things I think we're missing. We have got the makings of a decent team. It just looks like we haven't got a plan at points in games.
Do you know who we should get back as a coach? And I know he's living in Manchester as well. Rennie Mullenstein.
Rennie was another one, yeah. Rennie Mullenstein.
Should never be let go.
I think Moyes pretty much destroyed that, didn't he, when he first came in? He literally tore United apart, David Moyes, and set us back probably 5 years. He was the start of it. All that man had to do was keep some element of the coaching staff in place, and he probably wouldn't have been as bad as what he turned out to be. But, I mean, CJ, mate, Mullenstein, Queiroz, there are coaches out there. I mean, for me, I shouted this out the other day. If I'm looking at our forward line and I see the potential, I'd just go and get on the blower to Robin van Persie, mate, and say, yo, Robin, fancy doing a bit of work, son, on the training ground? Because
or even move Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, Adam.
Yeah.
But you know what it is though. I don't think the issue is necessarily our strikers. I think it starts from the back. First of all, we have no build-up play, so because of that, a lot of times our strikers have to come so deep to get the ball. Like most strikers
I
in
know what you're
Europe, you don't
saying.
see them getting the ball at the halfway line.
This is
You
it.
know,
So why are our strikers not disciplined enough to stick to positions? Because then
because
that
they're
sort
not.
of makes it. That makes, like you're saying, then that has a whole spin cycle on where the defenders are trying to pass to. And you're right. I think our attack is better than our defense. I think our
Yeah.
defense hasn't really got a killer pass. Anyone who can carry it, anyone who can make that difference. But then again, the chopping and changing of the midfield. Is it a case, CJ, then that we're changing it too much all the time?
I think it's just down to the systems, right? Because look at how we build up. It's pretty slow with Maguire, and then you have, Fred. They're not the best ball handlers. And then what happens is you're either seeing Bruno too deep, or today, for example, kudos to Bruno for getting the goals. But where was our midfield? He was ahead of all our strikers. He's supposed to be the creator, but he's not even in the space where he's supposed to be creating. So I think because of that, it's kind of, I don't think the players really have a defined role to play. You look at what Pep said in his interview. He said he wants his players to be positionally disciplined. He wants players to, it's not always about just running all the time. It's about knowing your position, knowing where you need to be. And I feel like our team is just kind of all over the place. We saw Greenwood today switching from left to right. There isn't a game plan. And because of that, it starts from the back, and then it affects the whole team. Because even Cavani, everyone makes fun of Martial. Cavani has played the full 90 minutes, and what was the last game against West Brom? He had 4 touches on the ball, just because our midfield isn't distributing enough, and so because of that, our forwards are having to go deep. Even sometimes you find Bruno at the edge of our box, of our defensive half, trying to get the ball, and I think that's where the issue really lies, but it's pronounced on the strikers because they're the end product. So I feel like it goes down to a system, and if we can actually have a more defined system where players know their role, they know what they're trying to do, we can have a system of play, then I think we might see a bit better from our strikers. But for right now, we just don't see any pattern. It's just kind of go out there, have fun, and hopefully Bruno makes it happen.
Yeah, it does. It is reliant on one man. And to finish up, guys, I'm just going to come to each one of you and just say 2 questions. Man of the match for tonight, Kian, and what's the result against Newcastle on Sunday night, mate?
Well, I suppose you'd have to give it to Bruno not just for 2 goals, but just his all-around play this evening. Sunday then, I think we'll win 2-0 or 3-0 if Henderson stays in goal.
Oh, I like it. Henderson stays in goal. CJ, mate, man of the match. I know. What's the score against Newcastle, pal?
Oh, geez. I wish I could give it to 2 people, because obviously Bruno, because he scored the goals and he was always at the right place at the right time for those goals to happen. But I want to give it to Bailly just because when Bailly plays, we don't see defensive errors. We don't see, stupid defensive plays. So it's kind of hard. But obviously, Bruno did his thing. So I would just go with the fan base and give it to Bruno. In terms of Newcastle, that's a hard one. But I think we could get the result. I'll say 2-1 just because of our defense.
Yeah, I mean, Bruno should have had the hat-trick of assists today as well if finishing was at its where it should be. Mark, mate, how you see Sunday, and what is your man of the match for tonight, mate?
Let's go controversial and say Dan James. I think
doing it.
He probably didn't think he was going to play this game. He got pulled in, scored a goal. Didn't make it right. Rick is going to give me a tenner later saying that as well. Yeah, Matthew was good as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, I know. And Sunday, mate.
John Joe scored within the first 10 minutes for Newcastle. but then we'll win 3-1.
I like it. Lord Voldemort's going to bag one, and then we're going to come back and win. Yes, knowing that we've got knowing that we've got Chelsea and City back to back after that Newcastle game, I think it is massively important we get the points on the board against Newcastle, because a stressful couple of weeks coming up, guys. It really is with them games matting up. But for tonight, that is it, guys. We're done and dusted. Europa League moves on. We're into the last 16. There's no way that we're going to lose again. Not by that margin next week anyway, guys. But I just want to say cheers, guys, for coming on. Mark, Kian, and CJ. No worries. Good to get you all on. No worries. And everyone in the comments, all super chats, everyone. Thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. And we move on. We're back tomorrow. Cheers, Kian. We're back tomorrow. Nuruddin's coming on the show tomorrow, guys, at 7 o'clock. We're going to be looking ahead to the weekend and going over tonight's action also. So stay tuned for that. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're watching for the first time. There's loads of content coming up. And, well,
that's going to be a big game.
This weekend brings.
That's going to be a big show with Nuruddin, because he always he goes off.
Yeah, Nuruddin, I'm letting him loose. Nuruddin's being let loose tomorrow, guys. 7 o'clock. Don't miss it. For now, everybody, take care. Enjoy the highlights. Let's hope that Arsenal get done over and we can all rib into Zayn again on the next one. So, guys, for now, see you later. I will see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.